Hey everybody.
Hello!
Do you like adventure?
Because we've got plenty of adventure to share.
We're outdoorsy.
And we're fabulous.
I'm Jason.
I'm Todd.
This is our little child Ziggy. Say hello, Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
And we're the Glamping Guys. Hello everyone. This is going to be a quick little walk around tour of the outside of Wally and some of the things that we did to get him renovated and looking his best. So just to talk briefly about where we found Wally. I found Wally on Craigslist. I will be showing you a few before pictures in the video so you can kind of get a comparison of what he looked like. Now you can see after we did the renovations what he looks like. Wally is a 1987 Winnebago Chieftain. He has a Chevy 454 big block motor. The engine itself was in great condition. The only thing that was really wrong was just the basic age-related items. I had all new hoses, belts, brakes. I had new tires put on. I had new headlights put in. And I had my mechanic just give it the once around and to make sure that everything mechanically was working as beautifully as it could be for a 30-year-old motor. The motor itself only had 81,000 miles when we got him in 2016, and my mechanic said that the engine is in perfect running condition except for all of the age-related items that had to be repaired. So now I'm going to take you on a quick little walk around and talk briefly about the paint job first. Being the YouTube junkie that I am, I went on YouTube and typed in how to paint your own car, and video after video recommended using good old-fashioned high gloss Rust-Oleum enamel. The high sheen of the paint will give that nice shiny fake clear coat look. So I did a few little test areas and was very pleased with the results. I also went on Google and just looked over all these really cool vintage RVs and trailers, and I wanted to follow the original decal outline, and I wanted to try some different colors, so I chose the red, black, and the white. These colors seem to be very popular, so I wanted to give it a new look, but also give it a very cool retro vintage flavor as well. Now, as far as the painting, it took me, I would say, about 10 days. I completely painted the whole thing by hand. I did try a roller, but going over these grooves was almost impossible with a roller, so I ended up switching over and just using a brush. It took quite a while, but Wally was definitely worth it. A few other things that I invested in was new side mirrors. The old ones were very rusty and some of the glass was cracked. So again, for safety, I wanted to invest and get some new mirrors. I also wanted to jazz up the new tires. Wally did not have any original hubcaps, so I found these really cool retro themed hubcaps and thought that gave Wally a very finished look. So now we're going to move on along the side here and just do a quick little walk around. I wanted to follow all of the decal work of the original decals. I used a lot of painter's tape. Had to do this whole thing twice for the reverse and for the inside. It was well worth it, and we are so pleased with the results. Right down here is the propane tank. It's actually a built-in propane tank, and it works like a charm. We have already had it filled up once on one of our camping trips, so we can have hot water whenever we need it. I also replaced the coaxial cable. We do have cable, and it works wonderfully. I also installed a new outlet and put a plug on it so it keeps it out of the rain. And we use this when we're setting up our outdoor patio and plugging in our lights. Stay tuned and you'll see a future video regarding that. And then here's the little furnace vent, but living in beautiful, hot, humid Florida, we do not need the furnace, and I don't foresee us ever needing to use it, but it does work. In a prior video, I talked about RV fridge efficiency. Here's the air intake vent, and you want to make sure you keep that clear so cooler air from outside can go in, keep the back of the refrigerator cold, and then the hot air goes up through the vent, which is right there. Here's Wally's back feet. And right here is the hot water heater. And after 30 years, it works great. And here's the back of Wally. And right there's our little happy rainbow sticker. Another great thing is it came with a hitch. We do have a bike rack that we will hook up to the back of Wally and take our bikes with us when we go traveling on some of the different campsites that have wonderful bike paths. And then here's kind of just a back view of a little bit more of Wally, and you can see I kind of followed the decals and the old W design that Wally originally had. And then moving around to this side, we have the gas tank, and here is the water hookup area, and this is for hooking directly up to water, and this is what we usually use if we even do use that. And then this is for filling up the freshwater tank. When I first purchased Wally, I did do the bleach solution, and I did sanitize out the freshwater tank, and I did sanitize all of the water lines within Wally. And then right down here is the electrical outlet, and we run on a 30 amp. And then right here is the cargo hold. And then I'm going to take you right back up over to the front door. So now we're going to go inside, and Todd is going to take over and talk all about the interior renovations and everything that we have done to make Wally our hotel on wheels. So follow me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the interior of Wally. I'm going to give you guys the full tour, and it's not going to take very long because as you can see, it's a pretty cozy little space. Now first off, before I get into specifics, we want to talk about kind of our overall design scheme for Wally. We wanted something that felt kind of like a hotel suite on wheels. We also agreed that we wanted kind of a nature theme. So in different things like our throw pillows and our murals, you'll see different sort of nature inspired elements. We also wanted to do a light color scheme. We wanted to do white cabinets and nice gray soothing walls because this place was a little bit dated. We had some really kind of gross dark wood cabinetry, some bad like 80s wallpaper. So we're like, let's make this place look a little bit more sophisticated and a little bit less grandma. So real quick, a word about primer. We had to prime the entirety of this space, and there were a lot of different surfaces to cover. For instance, right here, you've got real wood, then you've got veneer, then you've got laminate, and then you've got actual rubber. For some reason, there's rubber molding in this thing. So thankfully, we were able to find an oil-based primer that covered all these surfaces. And once we did that, well, the paint went on like a charm. And thankfully, it's held up really well. Fingers crossed for the first year. Oh, Ziggy is photobombing, so might as well hold him up and say hello.
And I'm gonna voice bomb you. Hey, hey Ziggy.
Thank you, cameraman. Ziggy's very excited.
Yep. Say hi, Ziggy. Good boy.
So, real quick, I'm gonna be a nerd about paint colors real quick, and then we'll move on to the tour. When you are picking out paint colors in a store, don't just get them right there on the spot, because when you're looking at that little tiny square of color in fluorescent lighting in a store, chances are it's gonna look really different when you put it on the wall. Okay, off the soapbox, moving right along. I'm gonna talk to you about some of the specific things that we did. Number one, I think I've mentioned it before, I have a very serious throw pillow addiction. So I was able to get some cool fabric and make some throw pillows. Actually, my mom made them. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
And this is a great IKEA throw pillow that was my inspiration for the entire space. I had to really hunt it down online because it was discontinued, but it's kind of my favorite throw pillow ever. Check it out. Okay, enough about throw pillows. Moving right along. This is one of my favorite things that I got to do right here. This sort of accidental cabinet door. When we got the place, there was no door here. All we saw was this very handy, but slightly unsightly microwave. So I thought, I need to make a cabinet door for this. Trouble is, I was worried about all the work it would take to match these cabinet doors. So I said, why not make a statement piece? So I just primed and painted, used some painter's tape to mark off a couple of stripes. I found this little guy right here. It's a stencil that I found at Michael's for just a few dollars. So I just painted underneath, glued it on, and boom! Instant cabinet door art.
Woohoo!
Moving along down here to the countertops themselves. These lovely black countertops, which your cameraman definitely helped out a lot in the painting. These were originally a color I like to call mauve sadness. Just that terrible sort of 80s pink color that didn't quite know what it was. Thankfully, Jason discovered that there is such a thing as countertop paint. You don't even need to prime. You just paint it right on. So that's why we have these lovely, sophisticated black countertops. And speaking of countertops, there's not much counter space here, and we need some prep room. So over here to the right, you will see this little piece, which fits right over the stovetop. I actually built this myself, and Jason painted it. So that way we've got very, very valuable space for prepping, for mixing our drinks, for, you know, assembling our plates when it's dinner time. Otherwise, there's not much room in here. It's a cozy little space. Another awesome thing that we discovered in our interior design adventures was this stuff. It looks like glass tile, but it's what's called peel and stick backsplash. It comes in a roll, almost like contact paper. And it's just how it sounds. You roll it out, you cut it with an X-Acto knife, you peel off the backing, and boom, you just stick it on the wall. It's a really inexpensive, extraordinarily easy kind of project. And it also looks like $1 million. Another thing that we added here was a lovely kitchen sink fixture. Now, just be aware that when you're shopping for faucets, you need to actually get one at an RV store. For the most part, especially in older models like this, you're not going to be able to just grab something at Lowe's or Home Depot and install it. It's just the specs are different, so just be aware. So here's our teeny tiny little Magic Chef fridge. Came with Wally, and it's a pretty new fridge. It's really, really nice. Now we're guessing that the original fridge, it pretty much expanded all the way out here. But when we got Wally, it was just this little guy just sort of kind of rolling around with a couple of pieces of styrofoam to not really steady it. So Jason had the idea that I should make some cabinetry, and I do love the opportunity for a good cabinetry project. So
yes, you do.
I love to build stuff. It makes me very happy. So I grabbed some MDF, some quarter round molding, and as usual, white primer and white paint, and got to work. This was a very interesting project because it had several functions. Number one, I wanted it to be functional and store stuff. I wanted it to look nice and like a built-in. And number three, and perhaps most importantly, I wanted it to be really snug so that it would keep this beautiful little fridge from wanting to fall out. Thankfully, it serves all those purposes, and I'm very proud and I feel very butch. Moving along to the bedroom area. Now, one thing that I didn't talk about was that our cabinet doors here had some pretty unfortunate hardware. So we replaced them with these really nice little silver guys. they were really inexpensive. I think they were like $1 at Lowe's a piece. So, you know, for $10 or $12, all of a sudden you've got a nice new modern look for very little money. Speaking of cheap and affordable, all the bedding I found either online or at IKEA. It was really affordable. I was able to grab a duvet set, put the pillow covers on the pillows, and then use the fabric from the duvet to cover up these window fixtures. As for the bathroom, Jason found this really beautiful nature-inspired shower curtain. Moving around to our right here, we will see the very familiar and very handy countertop paint, a nice new fixture, and over here, well, I had some of that green paint left over, so I decided to use it on the moldings of these mirrors. Nice little shelf with some lanterns. Oh, hello. I like to paint, so here's a little painting of an owl that I whipped up because, again, we wanted birds, leaves, naturey stuff, but stuff that was also really fun. Moving here to the cabin, all this stuff you see that's a nice sort of glossy black, that is because Jason, our very handy and wonderful Jason, painted all of this by hand with a brush because it was this very unfortunate sort of mustard color. Really, really ugly. So Jason grabbed, it was black Rust-Oleum, wasn't it?
Yes.
Black Rust-Oleum high gloss paint. And look at that. Instant smooth and shiny black. And I'm right here. Jason found online some really nice seat covers. Check it out. There's our cabin. There's our couch. And there's Jason and Ziggy.
Hey.
Say hey, guys.
Ziggy, say hi.
Ziggy! Ziggy!
Say hey.
Ziggy, do you like interior design? Oh, and actually, while I'm lingering here on the floor, I'm gonna show you guys the two things that we kept in Wally. One of which was this actually really nice laminate flooring, which we said, hey, you know what? That's a keeper. And also right up here, the only remaining fabric was this black and white gingham in this window treatment, because I thought, you know, it's kind of cool. If you look above you, you will see the lovely ceiling is a nice soft gray. We wanted to paint the ceiling because, frankly, there's more ceiling than wall. Also, if you look up here at our light fixtures, we were able to replace all those old school bulbs with LED. Not only do they look really nice, but they save you money on power. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Wally. Just goes to show you that with a little bit of paint, some pops of color, and some imagination, and of course, some serious elbow grease, you can turn kind of a little space into something that's a lot more yay. So, once again, as always, have a fabulous day, and stay tuned.
Leave a comment to say hi. If you like us, please subscribe. And if you don't, our little fluffy dog will attack you.